Hello. Welcome to Two Dorks Read The Phantom of Manhattan by Frederick Forsyth, in which Natalie and Michael, two Phantom fans on a mission, subject themselves to the book that served as the launchpad for Love Never Dies, Andrew Lloyd Webber's controversial sequel to Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. Our story continues.
Let's see how long. I'm just going to quickly flip through chapter 5 to see. Oh, all right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can do chapter 5 if you'd like.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we got time. We're only a half hour in.
Well,
Do you
now
have
I
any
know how
thoughts on
Darius
chapter?
sounds.
Yeah. Do you have any? Yeah. For some reason, Darius sounds like a Newfoundlander, and that's real weird. I don't know why. He just does.
Well, my thoughts is
He's from Malta.
yeah. Like I said, my thoughts are that the entire last chapter could have been summarized with like half a page.
Probably. I mean, I guess we really want to get into Charlie's way of talking.
But I mean, unless it comes up later,
Yeah.
then that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Armand's chapter was there, right? Especially because it could very well have blended in to Charlie's chapter,
Yeah.
with I hate New York, enough said, this place is awful, I don't like the accent, I don't like anything about this place, I can't find Eric Molheim. Then I met this other New Yorker. He's really annoying, but he took me to the right people. And
Yeah.
like that would have been sufficient.
Now I can finally go home.
I dropped off the letter, peace. And then Charlie can take it from there.
Yeah. And well, like I said, that would be absolutely great. They didn't need to make that as like a chapter out of itself.
Yeah, but Gaston Leroux's book, all like 305 or something unabridged pages of it is slim. Meanwhile, we have Forsyth here struggling to put together like a cohesive 200-page story that we can already cut probably about 50 pages from, probably.
Yeah, I think with this we can actually. First of all, we can cut the entire preface.
I don't know. I'm okay with the preface. If the preface has to be there, the preface has to be there. It gives him his setup, in my opinion, even if I don't like it.
I'm saying that the preface. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, it does take up a lot of like the book, and it does hold a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
But history is for everyone else to find out more if they are feeling inclined.
Yeah, now I'm wondering, like, with all of the references to LaRue that Forsyth is dropping based on his preface, if it's more just like a, look, he's doing it, he's making the references, like, trick.
It could be that, but it could also be, because here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone has their own right to their own opinion.
Of course.
Yeah, but stomping on LaRue, who's a very, very popular like author in France to this day.
Mm-hmm.
With his Yellow Room series and whatnot.
Yep.
I think that the way he does it is just absolutely wrong.
Yeah, it comes off as disrespectful.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, oh, by the way, LaRue, you don't know shit.
It's like he wrote the book.
Yeah, and LaRue just sits there with like a cigar in his mouth, not even looking up at him reading another book, just goes, charming.
Yeah. Magnifique, monsieur. Like,
Magnifique. Allez-vous.
Allez-vous-en. Go away.
Basically, yeah, allez-vous-en. So, yeah, it's like, okay, I'm the one who starts this one off then, right?
Yes, you get to be Darius.
Oh, I get to be Darius?
Oh, God!
Maybe. No, this is gonna be fun. We're looking at the entire fucking chapter going down in Irish.
Oh, basically, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? The trance of Darius. The house.
He's really high, and he's.
Oh, Lower East Inside. Manhattan, New York City, November 1906. I can feel the smoke entering me. Soft, seductive smoke. Behind me, close ahead, I can leave this shoddy, shabby slum and walk alone through the gates of perception into the domain of him whom I serve. The smoke clears, the long passage floored and walled in solid gold. Oh, the pleasure of the gold, the touch, to caress, to feel, to own, and to bring it to him, the god of gold, the only true deity, a deity. Since the barbaric coast where I first found him, I a foul catamite, elevated to a higher calling, seeking always more gold to bring him and the smoke to take me to his presence. I walk forward into the great golden chamber where the smelters roar and the gilded torrents run fresh and endless from their spigots. More smoke. The smoke of the smelters mingling with that in me mouth, me throat, me blood, me brain. And of that smoke he will speak to me as ever. He will listen to me, advise and counsel me, as always he will be right. He is here now. I can feel it, his presence. Master, great God, Mammon, I'm on my knees before you. I have served you as best I have been able these many years, and have brought to your throne my earthly employer and all his stupendous wealth. I beg you to hear me, for I need your advice and help.
I hear you, servant. What is your trouble?
That man who I serve here below, something seems to have entered him that I cannot comprehend.
Explain.
How should we carry on? Apparently, this is just a straight dialogue. Should I take over
Well,
Darius or?
I can take over Darius, you can take over Mammon.
Yeah, sure. I'll be Mammon. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. Um, ever since I've known him, ever since I first cast my eyes on his hideous face, he has had but one obsession, which I have encouraged and fostered at every stage, in a world that he perceives as being uniformly,
Uniformly.
uniformly hostile to him. He has only ever wanted to succeed. It was I who channeled that obsession into the making of money, and ever more money, and thus brought him to your service. Is it not so?
You have done brilliantly, servant. Every day his wealth increases, and you ensure that it is dedicated to my service.
But recently, master, he has increasingly become obsessed with another concern. Time wasted, but worse. Much worse. A waste of money. He thinks only of opera. There's no profit in opera.
This I know, a fruitless irrelevance. How much of his fortune does he devote to this fetish?
So far, but a tiny fraction. My fear is that it distracts him from the dedication to the increase of your empire of gold.
Does he cease to make money?
On the contrary, in that area, things are as they always have been.
Let him have his hobby!
Yeah, the original ideas, the great strategies, the extraordinary and ingenuity, which sometimes seems to me like a second sight. There, these he still has. I still preside over the meetings in the boardroom. It is I who, for the world, conduct the great takeovers, construct an even bigger empire of mergers and investments. It is I who destroys the weak and the helpless, rejoicing in their pleas. It is I who raise the rents in the slum tenements, order the clearances of the homes and schools for factories and marshalling yards. It is I who suborn the bribe the city officials to ensure the compliance. It is I who signed the purchase orders for great stakes of shares and blocks of stock in the rising industries across the country. But always the instructions are his. The instructions are his. The campaign planned by him. The things I must do, say, devised by him.
It sounds like they're about to be visited by three spirits of Christmas past, present, and future because they've just got straight Scrooge.
Holy shit.
Like, he said, like, he's destroying the weak and helpless. He's rejoicing in the evictions he's got to do. He's making slum life miserable for the immigrants coming in. And it's just real bad. Like, I'm just waiting for, like, the mankind was my business, like, thing to come in. And is his judgment starting to fail him?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, master. It is as faultless as ever. The stock exchange is agape with this audacity and foresight. even though they think it is mine.
Then what is the problem, servant? It sounds like he has a hobby.
I'm wondering, master, if the moment has come for him to depart and for me to inherit.
Servant, you have done brilliantly, but because you have also followed my orders, you are talented, it is true, and you have always known this, and loyal only to me. Okay, that's a sentence fragment that doesn't quite flow, but that's fine. But Eric Molheim is more. Rarely does one come across a true genius in the matter of gold. He is such a one, and more besides, inspired by the hatred of man, guided by you in my service. He is not simply a wealth-creating genius, but immune to scruple, principle, mercy, pity, compassion, and most important of all, like you, immune to love, a human tool to dream of. One day his moment will indeed come, and I may order you to end his life. Okay, and so that you may inherit, of course, all the kingdoms of the world was the phrase I used once to another. To you, all the financial empire of America. Have I deceived you so far?
Never, master.
And have you betrayed me?
Never, master.
Then so be it. Let it continue a while. Tell me more of this new obsession and the why of it. What is this opera? Asked Satan. I don't know.
His library shelves have always been loaded with the works of opera and books concerning it. But when I arranged that he could never have a private box screened by curtains to hide his face at the Met, he's at the Metropolitan, he seemed to lose interest. Now he has invested millions in a rival opera house.
So far, he has always recouped his investments and more.
True, but this venture is a certain loss maker, even though such losses must be under 1% of his total wealth. And there is more. His mood has changed.
Why?
I do not know, master, save that it began after the arrival of a mysterious letter from Paris, where he once lived.
Tell me.
Two men came. One a shoddy little reporter from a New York newspaper, but he was the only guide. He was only the guide. The other was a lawyer from France. He had a letter. I would have opened it, but he was watching me. When they had gone, he came down and looked and took the letter. He sat and read it at the boardroom table. I pretended to leave, but watched through a chink in the door. When he rose, he seemed changed.
And since then?
And since then, I need to wait for the page to turn.
I don't know!
Before then, he was simply the sleeping partner behind a man called Hammerstein, builder and moving spirit behind a new opera house. Hammerstein is wealthy, but not to compare. It was Molheim who pledged enough to bring the opera house to completion.
Oh, he still has more things to say. Technically, like it's like just how they notated it. It's different paragraphs.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
But since the letter he has become involved in to a greater degree, it already dispatched Hammerstein to Paris with a torrent of money to persuade a singer called Nellie Melba to come to New York and star in the new year. Now he has sent a frantic message to Paris ordering Hammerstein to secure yet another prima donna, the great rival of Melba, a French singer called Christine de Changy. He has involved himself in the artistic choices, changing an inaugural opera from one by Bellini to another, insisting on a different cast. But most of all, he spends every night furiously writing.
Bathing beauty. Writing what?
Bathing beauty on the
No,
beach.
damn it! Dots!
Music master. I hear him in the penthouse above. Each morning there are fresh sheaves of music. In the small hours I hear the tones of that organ. He masturbates so often.
Oh, yo!
He has installed in the drawing room. I am tone deaf. It means nothing to me. A meaningless noise. But he's composing something up there, and I believe it is his own opera. Just yesterday he commissioned the fattest packet on the East Coast to take the so far completed part of the work and rush it over to Paris. What am I to do?
It is all madness, my servant, but relatively harmless. Has he invested more money in this wretched opera house?
No, master, but I worry for my inheritance. Long ago he pledged to me that should anything ever happen to him, I should inherit his entire empire, his hundreds of millions of dollars, and thus continue to dedicate them to your service. Now I fear he may be changing his mind. He could leave everything he has to some kind of foundation, dedicated to his wretched obsession with opera.
Foolish servant, you are his adoptive son, his inheritor, his successor, and the one destined to take over his empire of gold and power. Has he not promised you? More to the point, have I not promised you? And can I be defeated?
No, master, you're supreme, the only god.
Then calm yourself. But on reflection, let me tell you this, not advice, but a flat order. If you should perceive a real threat to your inheritance of everything he has, his money, his gold, his power, his kingdom, then you will destroy that threat without mercy or delay. Do I make myself plain?
Perfectly, my master, and thank you. I have your orders.
Yay, lords! I know, but can you see how Darius has sort of taken the Madame Giry previous role in Love Never Dies?
Yeah, I can, and that's dumb.
Oh, God.
Seriously though, it's like, yeah, I want his inheritance, and like, yeah, this is actually kind of creepy, to be honest.
I know, isn't it? Like, I was talking to somebody about Love Never Dies, not Love Never Dies, Phantom of Manhattan, this week a little bit. And I've got to say this, if there's one thing that you can praise Phantom of Manhattan for over Love Never Dies, if it's at all possible, it's that it really commits to how weird it is.
Yeah, it because this is really weird.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Right.
we've got clowns, we've got like demon worship, and among other things.
Yeah,
that
I mean, we
have
do
not
have
even come
Scamble.
yet. We haven't even met Christine and family yet, for example.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And does Raul hate America in this one as well?
I don't remember. I only remember one thing about Raoul, and I want to keep that a surprise.
Yeah, that's good. Because I'm just waiting for another one to go, what a dreadful town!
Maybe you should go to the bar with Armand and just, sit this one out, Raoul, honestly.
Oh my god, those two together. It'd be like, what a dreadful town. I agree, yeah. Fuck New York, yeah!
I hate New York. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna buy that shirt.
And they both sit at the bar and they toast a toast to the entire bar. Oh, what for? To the destruction of New York, and they get thrown out.
Then, of course, Christine comes out. Raoul, I got you a t-shirt. I love New York. No!
Oh god, that's gonna be great.
Oh, God.
That would be so amazing.
I hope that's how the book goes, but I don't think it's how it goes. But
I'm pretty sure that is not the way it goes.
But I'm really... No, you first.
It would be so freaking great if just every Frenchman who doesn't come to New York to live, but to visit, just goes, what a dreadful town, just as they walk off the boat. Oh, that would be amazing.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Oh, do you think this means that, when Weber was having his talks with Forsyth about the Phantom sequel, and, considering that this is still the premise that they went off of a little bit, that somewhere, before he realized, oh my god, I've got to scrap this and take it off in a totally other direction, that there's a song for Darius.
Oh, that would be fucking amazing, actually. That would be
A
great.
duet for Darius and Mammon.
Money, how I love you, my dear old money.
Ooh, I'm so high and I love money.
I love hashish so much, and all the gold in NAWYORK New York.
Why is Eric letting his opera come between me and his money?
I wish I was poor, but with money.
No, he doesn't wish he was poor.
No, I know that's the funny
I
part.
wish I was never poor. I wish I was making other people poor, so I acquired them.
The money. Oh god. But yeah, just rewrite Swanee to money.
Oh God. So, do you want to do the next chapter? It's 3 pages.
Oh sure.
Yeah. This is Gaylord Spriggs. He's an opera
Oh.
critic. And we're almost 40% into this book, and we have not heard a peep from the Deshiny family, by the way.
Yeah, they have been name dropped, and that is all.
Yeah.
So wait, now I have another person who we probably will never hear from again.
I don't know.
Well, I
From
said
the table
probably.
of contents, I definitely know that Charlie shows up several times, but
Yeah, but like, in what extent?
I
That's the
don't
thing.
know. I'm excited. I really hope he's gonna be like, "Hey, you with the face! What's going on here?"
And that's the last we ever hear from him.
And that's his final words. Like, "I want money. I will sell your corpse for more money," said Eric as he noosed him.
Oh dear lord! Just imagine this though.
Mhm.
Just imagine, like, if all of these characters we have seen so far, even fucking Armand Dupont,
Mhm.
comes back to some extent, and he's like, "Oh, I do not like this place at all anymore, but I have come back because the story decides for me."
Because I must see this opera. I must
see the
catch
opera.
this.
Oh, I heard something about a Gounod opera. I can never miss a Gounod opera. That should be his thing. That
What?
should be his thing. Like, whenever there's like an opera by a French person, no matter how horrible the country, he has to go there to look at it.
Do you think he's like a diehard fan of like Don Juan Triumphant? It's like his only, it's Eric's only fan.
That would be amazing.
I would be so into it. Because there's got to
Same.
have been like someone who walked out of that theater like, shame about everything, but I was really getting into that opera.
You know what I would have loved?
Mhm.
If in the fucking script, it's like, here Don Juan dies and is replaced by the Phantom. So in every time they do it, they have to sacrifice some poor soul.
So Piangi just kind of knew and he was like, might as well.
Yeah, might as
I
well.
am done. I am married to Carlotta. This is the end. I'm done with this.
Basically, yeah.
Neck me, he said.
I'm at your. He tries to like strangle him the first time and he cannot find his chin.
Oh God, that's why.
And it's like he basically adjusted himself and he goes, I'm at your before he dies.
God, we are grim. We are in the gallows. To anyone listening, no, I don't know. Should we just do we have to trigger warning this? Because I feel like we're in.
I don't think so. I mean, they're fictional characters.
I know they're fictional characters, but some people hold them quite closely and personally because we live in the future.
Okay, honestly, people, if you hold them to such
Oh boy, here we go.
If you hold them to such non-scrutiny that you cannot even like listen to having people like, oh, I cannot have this criticism. Look, they're alive the next time you put on the CD or next time you put on the DVD. They're gonna die again. Don't worry.
That is true. They are fictional. Just stay away from our weird audio riffing, not quite fan fiction. And you're good.
Yeah, but basically, it's like it's fine. Like.
We good probably.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. I mean, you should hear like all the dreadful things we've said about Eric.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh dear Lord. I'm a huge fan of Phantom of the Opera, but even I can say funny shit about Eric.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
that's the
Christine
thing. Like
McDowell.
you know, can I say, like, before we started the stream, you were telling me more about the trapdoor lover, right? That no, the rosy hours, the rosy hours. Yeah. And you were saying, oh well, the book starts off nice until Eric comes in, and it's
It's nice and boring and like descriptive and shit, but
yeah.
and then Eric comes and everyone just knows, okay, shit's about to go down.
It's like, well, no shit, the story gets crazy because Eric comes in because Eric's an absolute disaster.
Yeah, he's a walking disaster on two legs, okay? Sometimes three, I guess. But it's
Who
like,
knows?
yeah, but like we know that once he makes an appearance, bodies are gonna pile up, shit's going to go missing, and we all know who's gonna be behind it all.
Yup.
This is no coincidence.
Incidentally, right? Incidentally, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is something about Phantom of Manhattan that's kind of bugging me. Eric is so tame right now.
Yeah. He's really castrated.
Like, he's just kind of, I don't know, he's just, like, he's not, I guess he's not being himself, but he's not being himself, you know?
I know.
Like, who is this kid? Like, you know, who,
it's not his character.
Like, how is this, how is this side of Eric's personality that he loves opera and he's obsessed with writing music only just now, after like a decade with Darius, rearing its head? Like, it took us, maybe I guess a half an hour into the original Phantom show for us to even meet the Phantom, but we knew straight from then that he was just the clangingest, bangingest, organ-playingest, obsessive composer to ever, like, hit the scene.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. Even in Susan K, I'm sorry for everyone who hasn't read it yet, but it's been out for quite a while.
Spoilers from a book from the early 90s. Here we go.
Well, I wouldn't say spoilers, but I would. It's like a minor one.
Yeah.
And it's like, even in that one, yes, he wants 20,000 francs a month, but that's only because 10,000 he promised like his servant to bring him morphine, and the other 10,000 is because he has some really expensive habits.
Is morphine that expensive though?
No, but it's like here's the thing: the 10,000 is the salary to the dude for like bringing this to him to keep quiet about his like cellar house.
I feel like 1,000 francs probably would have been like 500 francs would have been sufficient to shut this guy up.
Yeah, because a month, because like 10,000, that's a ridiculous sum.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's 5,000 more than like the world's most renowned opera singer at that time got.
Like, at least the 2004 Phantom, we talked about this, has sort of a reason for the 20,000 francs, because he's got to pay all of the arms in the building.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got to disperse that. Like, he probably gets like a little nice sum for himself, but they're on arm duty. Their arms get tired.
Yeah, they just have to hold out the freaking the wall scones basically.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like in the like I said, in Susan K, he has 10,000 for the servant, so he happily runs across and gets the things that he wants. But he has to spend that from the other 10,000 francs that he extorts from the managers.
Of course.
Yeah, which is still a ludicrous sum.
I know. I mean, I remember when I read K many, many years ago that he was like, what? I live an expensive lifestyle. I gotta have the finest of the finest. But,
So not only is he a murderer and like a good composer, he's a fucking fop as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, he's the foppy. He's the foppest fop.
He's the foppy murder boy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so basically, yeah. I just wanted to like go into that for a bit. So even with this, his obsession with money in this one just seems such a like weird thing.
It's just weird, and like the way he's went to acquire the money this time, I mean, I guess, it makes sense that he would want an ally to get it through more legitimate means, but you'd think, like, if this was, for example, like, if for some reason we replace this with the LaRue Phantom and he was in this situation, you know that not only would he be going around as a clown, like he'd be actively messing with people as a clown.
Yes, he would be stealing shit. He would be like going right up to their faces.
And
And
Darius would be like, "What are you doing? What
Yeah.
are you actually doing, you psycho?"
yeah, exactly. Because LaRue Phantom is LaRue. He's my
But
favorite Phantom.
But even the Weber Phantom had a bit of that crazy. Like he still did the Red Death. And what is Red Death if not a spectacle, a grander spectacle than even that of a clown, you know? Like
yeah.
you know the Weber Phantom, even as he was originally conceived, probably would have messed with a bunch of people and gotten up to shenanigans, and Darius would just have to be like, "Oh my god."
Darius would have been so lost.
Darius would be like, "You know what? Like, and it'd be great because Eric, like, he would keep, like, making money, but it would be more like, by foolish happenstance, and Darius would just have to resign himself to the fact that despite how insane and unpredictable Eric is, he is his best chance. And I really
Yes.
wish that was the direction they went with, instead of, I followed the rules, I was Scammo the clown, I played the stonk market. Like, I don't like that.
No, I just like. What if he just straight up went up to someone, showed their face, and was like, "If you give me $1 million, I'm gonna go away."
Yeah.
Like that's the
Leave my little boy alone! Will you pay me to?
Yes, that is the Eric I'm like. Going for.
Exactly. And then Darcy's like, "What are you doing? It's how I earned money, like, in the past." No,
Yeah.
no.
It fucking worked.
Exactly. No, you can't do that, sir.
What if they go to they go to a restaurant to eat,
Mhm.
and when it comes to the tab, he just removes his mask and he looks at him.
Oh my god.
He just awkwardly looks at him until he goes, for free, sir. Thank you. That was very kind. And then he puts his mask back on.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that, like, I'm really into I'm actually partially kind of into the whole notion of the Phantom coming to New York and making a splash and being a wild boy. But this isn't that story, and that's what's messing with me.
Yeah. Actually, you want to know what's ridiculous?
What?
If we take the Phantom from like LaRue and the crazy dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if we take that Phantom into Accord, he is actually a lot more like freaking Freddy Krueger or something like that.
Probably. I
Yeah.
actually haven't, to this day, I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, but I mean, like he would do something really fucking bizarre and then do a one-liner to laugh it off.
Oh, probably. Definitely.
So like he would go in, with his fake nose and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone would do a joke, and he would slam his fist in the freaking table, rise up, and he would say, "Now that's a little bit," and he would remove it on the nose, sir.
Oh, no.
And then he would laugh like a maniac as he shrank down in fear.
God, absolutely.
Yeah, that's Eric.
That's Eric. I don't
Yeah.
know who this kid is. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, this is some weird dude.
He's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, you could argue, oh, he's done with his opera life. He's playing it straight. But I don't know. Like, there's always just... There's too much mischief and chaos in this character to just
Yeah.
be done with it forever. Like, I understand, you're discouraged from something, you lay low for a few months to even like a year or so, but it creeps in again. You're
It
human.
does.
It creeps back in. That's just the human cycle.
Yeah, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, Forsyth's discounted that, or Weber just wants this boy to be a very straight-laced, proper
Right.
young gentleman, and I don't know,
Frederick Foreskin doesn't really write a good book.
a proper young man of 27 just coming up in the business world.
Yeah.